Coach, as the 2019 regular season starts speeding toward a conclusion, not too many games remain to be played here in Oakland, California. This was the scene a few minutes ago. The folks around the stadium clad in silver and black going to make every last game played in Oakland count. They're ready to go as their Raiders get set to match up with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
We got this. Monday, down. 180. Go, go, go. Raider 9.
This is the former Jet and Brown, Isaiah Crowell. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Carr. Rifles one incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, but now it's 3rd down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Carr. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. The tackle made there by Jared Davis.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 27-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Carr going to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line. He's going through a rough patch throwing the football. 4 interceptions in that loss last week. Opening drive starts the game with a pick here.
But we did spend time with the head coach and the offensive coordinator and asked him, what did you see on tape? What did you see on film? And they talked about mechanics, making sure that he gets his feet underneath him, doesn't overstride, does a better job taking care of the football. And I think they're as shocked as anyone to see the first one of the game here in this one.
Yeah, he needs to start heeding their advice. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. The sack by Robert Quinn. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. To throw is Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but Right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming, double up.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Corral. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. This is caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more...
And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On second down, it's Hines. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Carr. Now this will be caught. Tyrell Williams. A gain there of 21 yards. This will probably be the last play of the quarter. On first down, Jacobs. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 6-0 our score after one. On 2nd and 11 now. Carr. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
First and 10 at the 47.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 47. They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Come on.
Now Carr. Got his man. That's Tyrell Williams. 19 yards there on the catch and run. Like Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams came to the Raiders in March. Came up the coast from L.A., where he caught 41 balls last year with the Chargers. His best year was 2016 when the Chargers were still in San Diego. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and the Raiders really have high hopes for this 27-year-old receiver. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense, I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. A quick throw there out to Williams. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Monday, down. 180. 93. 51 to Mike.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Complete to Bryant. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Cleveland Farrell able to record his 5th sack of the season.
For a rookie first-rounder, he's made a huge impact on this defense, but that tells me that they had a plan for him when they drafted him. Just turn him loose, do what you do best, go get the quarterback.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. Trevor Williams with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. They're trying to resurrect his confidence. Last week was a disaster. 5 interceptions in that loss and another pick there.
I played with a quarterback like this before, and he had a tough game, and the head coach said, I'll take him, I'll fix him. The very next game, he started out the exact same way. And the head coach turned to the offense coordinator and said, he's yours from now on. Someone has to take responsibility and work with him and try and get him settled.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress as well. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. Charles, you talk so much about quick change plays. There's one right there. You get the turnover, and boom, hit him with a big one.
And defenses plan for this all the time. They work on it in practice. But in the middle of the game, when that quick change takes place, oftentimes guys aren't as focused as they need to be.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. But keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. They'll run with Jacobs. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Carlson is good. And that will bump up the lead again to 12-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half. A first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. He's going to go for a big play down. Oh, wide open, complete. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
He's check 22.
On first down, Stafford here. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there, but it's going to be second down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Clemson, Trayvon Mullen. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead. Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation. Or go 4 verticals because why not? Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it. So we come upon halftime in what's a 12-point game at the break. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. It's a short kick, taken at the 15. Touchdown, Lions. People still trying to get back to their seats from the concession stand here at the start of the third quarter, and boom, we got points on the board. And you just identified why the bulk of stadiums have increased presence in the concession areas, right? TVs, loudspeakers, so people can still follow the game. And right now, they're bummed out that they missed that big return to start this half. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead. And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN. And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
694.
Now Carr. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
And a Raider first down. 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Down. 185.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man.
On first down, Jacobs. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
180. 180. We're good. We're good. 280.
From the 44, Carr. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now Carr. Able to find Warner. That's complete. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 42.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throw here caught by Williams. And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 24-yard line.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completions.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Carr. And that's complete. It's Sims. 22 yards there, a 1st down. And that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They run it with Jacobs. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Wahoo! Right 40, check, he's coming. All day, punk. You're mine.
Shotgun now for Carr. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it, fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. So a big turn of events there. This defense makes the play. They return it for the score, and now they have the lead.
So much for ball security for the offense. Playing with a lead in the second half, they give the ball up, and all of a sudden they're behind.
Big-time fumble. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And in the 3rd quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for two too early. But in this case, I understand why. You know, if you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they'll be looking to start fresh. Just a moment ago, they were backed up, coughed up the football, and then saw it go the other way for 6 points.
I just wonder, partner, sometimes they put such an emphasis on things. And you know in that situation, as they ran out there, they were told, take care of the football, don't cough it up. And sometimes that's the last thing you hear, and that's exactly what you do.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Carr to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Carr again here on 2nd and 10. Complete to Washington. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. On 1st down, a running play ends up going backwards as he won't get close to the line of scrimmage. In fact, he's going to lose 4 yards.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Trey Flowers able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
637.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr flushed out right. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Devon Kennard providing a little deja vu. Back-to-back sacks. And now they're staring at a 4th and long. Here's A.J. Cole now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They begin the drive with Hines, and he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Here's Hines on a toss play. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Set. 180. Check. Mike 54. 21. I'm coming. Stay 50. Stay 50.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, it has not been the best game for him, but he definitely tried to get by with a little help from his friend there, trying to create a big play.
Couldn't do it, fell incomplete, but you're right, hasn't been a banner game here in the second half, just trying to get going.
Big thing is trying to keep confidence up and continue to fire.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
Big hook up there, forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Stafford throws complete to Galladay, and he's going to get this inside the 30. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. Throwing is Stafford. And that's complete to Jesse James. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before they get a good head of steam going.
Now Stafford. And that is incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with a gain.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trey Flowers able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's back to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
First and 10 at the 38.
Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. Now Carr. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. It's complete to Jones. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. And now it's first and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. To throw is Carr. Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Back to throw. Bryant has it. Powering his way forward. The catch and run there, good for 16 in the first.
I know it was a completion, but probably not the best decision to throw the ball to the middle of the field here. No timeouts. Give a ton of credit to him making the catch and finding a way to get to the sideline and get out of bounds.
They'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got it. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up second and goal.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. He'll try and run it. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down.
And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there.
That's it, baby. We got one.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly.